In this position, Black has an active plan, beginning with a6. The idea of playing a6 first is to secure the b5 square. You want to stop the knight from going to b5 in order to preserve the two bishops.
On the other hand, White will relocate the bishop to the king side via the g5 square.
Now that White's bishop no longer occupies the g1 to a7 diagonal, Black in turn will place his bishop on the g1 to a7 diagonal.
White's knight was forced to vacate the f3 square in order to make room for bishop on g3 to retreat due to the opponent's pawn assault on the king side.
With pressure on White's king side.
New generation chess community.
Switching your focus to pawn play.
What are your objectives in regard to the pawn structures?
One of the hardest tasks in chess is winning a one game. In this position, Black is tied down to defense. And in view of this, White began marching the king toward the pawn. You want to overload the opponent with more tasks than he can handle. The bishop defends the passed pawn on c3, and the knight defends the bishop. So how can White capture the pawn? The answer is the kamikaze rook. Rook takes f7.
And now eliminating the opponent's counterplay.
In the endgame, the king is an important defender as well as an important attacker. King e4 defends the knight. King moves off the d3 square so the knight can go there.
Welcome to the Chess Assassin channel. This is the Pawn Power Hour.
Okay, now this is the breakdown. The wide joining me for the Pawn Power Hour consists of opening knowledge, tactics, positional analysis, short and long-term goals. We're gonna take a trip to the castle, the medieval castle, and get some highlights from the nobles.
Okay, looking at the position, always be on the lookout for weak squares. In this middle game position, White will strive to open the position on the king side. And once the position becomes open, the game will have transitioned to a minor piece battle. Always keep in mind that open positions call for quick development, whereas closed centers call for play on the wings with pawns to gain space. In this position, Black has two continuations, pawn to b5 or knight to g6. We're going to look at both of them.
In this particular game, white castles to the queen side. And this is called opposite wing castling. So the imbalance is set. This is the general rule. Make sure that the imbalance you strive to obtain fits in well with other factors in the position. And now the game is tactical. If rook to c2, then queen takes d6, winning a piece, but black regains the piece by capturing the knight on f2. Watch closely. Knights are better in closed positions. The bishops work better in open positions. If the bishop gets a chance to capture the pawn on b3, which it does, now there's a clear shot to the f7 pawn. And you're going to see why bishops are better. Do you see the move for white here? Guess the move. That's right. Rook g6 check. Pawn cannot capture because the pawn is pinned. Based on this endgame position, who do you think will win? Black or white? Let me know in the comments section. And now we're going to go back to the starting position from the middle game and look at black's other option with pawn to b5. Now this is a pawn sacrifice. The idea is to prove that there is compensation for the sacrificed pawn. The attack will be on the queen side, and likewise white will attack in the same direction as his pawn's point. And this is known as the pawn pointing theory. Now it makes sense here for white to go ahead and trade off the light square bishop and try to keep the dark square bishop on the board. And that is all I have for Pawn Power Hour Part 1. But I would like you to stay tuned for Part 2. Thanks for watching.